Hey everybody, happy National Chardonnay Day. The Thursday before Memorial Day is declared National Chardonnay Day. We're gonna have a national day for everything, so might as well be Chardonnay. Hey, we thought we'd dedicate this week to not only Chardonnay, but our Chardonnay. And the question we get asked all the time is, how long can we age Testarossa Chardonnay? My usual answer is, well, how many bottles did you get? Because if you only bought 3 bottles, then they'll age for about 3 weeks. So, the more you get, the more likely you're able to age it. So what we thought we'd do is we'd do a little vertical between 2014 and 2011 of some different vineyards and some different appellations. Do a quick little tasting here and see what we think. So I'm going to start off with the 2014 Tondre Vineyard Chardonnay. See that label right there. This is from Joe Tondre Ollerid Chardonnay Vineyard, named after his dad. Actually, did I say Tondre Vineyards? Tondre Grapefield. So Joe very proudly calls it a grape field because he's got an asparagus field and a white bean field and a lettuce field. So, hey, it's a grape field. So really beautiful color right off the bat. The nose is just fantastic. It's a 2014, so 6 years old. Boy, it just feels like it's a brand new wine. Oh my goodness, that's got so much flavor. The oak is perfectly integrated. Oh, it just, the acid balance. At 6 years, many of you have heard me talk about, well, how long should I age wines? And 6 years is a magic number. It's still got the youthful fruit, but it's just got some really beautiful, developed flavors from that ageability. We're very fortunate. We've got quite an extensive library. Our library we consider starts when a wine gets to be 5 years old. So 2014, this is one of our younger library wines, and boy, is it drinking beautifully. Wow, if you have some, open it up. I think you'll enjoy it. Our next is coming from a little bit farther south, La Rinconada Vineyard Chardonnay in the Santa Rita Hills. So you can see that's down in Santa Barbara County. Santa Rita Hills is part of the Santa Ynez Valley, which runs east-west along the Santa Maria Valley. So it's farther south, but gets a lot of cool fog. And again, you can just look at this color. It's just got this beautiful, fresh. It's almost a straw color. You wouldn't think that this would be from a 7-year-old Chardonnay. The acid on there, the oak integration is just beautiful with all the French oak fermented and natural yeast with the French oak under Bill Brousseau and his team. Boy, that's if you had any of this in your cellar, this is right. I would say at its peak, but it could easily last another 5, 6, 7 years. Who knows? But not as good as this is. It's going to get all drunk up. Or is it drinking? Well, I never know. Okay, we're going to move on down the road. I've already pre-tasted these wines, so I already know what I'm looking forward to next, which was my favorite of the flight. Is a 2012 Rosella's Vineyard, Santa Lucia Highlands. This is just a flavor ball, just explosive. Just can't wait to try this with all of you. If you have any 2012, you can start to see there's a little bit more of a more golden hue, but the wine's still very fresh. Oh, my mouth is just watering. I can't wait to try this. Oh my God, I'm a fan. I like this. This is just, so this, at 8 years old, boy, I can go older. And we've actually enjoyed some of our Chardonnays at 20 years old, but I would say, boy, this doesn't get much better. If you've got some 2012s and they've been properly stored, that's the key thing. If you've had them in your garage and it gets real hot during the summer, 2012 is going to be pretty awful. But if it's been properly stored, boy, you're going to be well rewarded. 2011 is our last bottle here. This is from the Fogstone Vineyard. So that is up in the northern part of the appellation. This 2011 was a tough vintage. We had a lot of rain at harvest, and it was a challenging vintage in the cellar. Excuse me. You can see there's a little bit more of a darker color. Again, it's still more of just kind of that real golden character. This is at its peak. The 2011 vintage didn't have quite the ageability, especially in the whites, as other vintages. But boy, if I had a nice butter poached piece of halibut right now, boy, this wine would be beautiful. It's got a little caramel note, so if you love white burgundies or your European white wines, then this will be perfect. So the first three, the 12, 13, and 14, boy, those I would have no problem putting to myself for another 3 or 4 years. Just 2011 and our other 2011s, and they crossed the vintage for California. 2011s didn't age quite as well, but at 9 years old for a vintage that didn't age too well, hey, I'll enjoy it. This week's question of the week. Last video we asked for people to send in some questions. So from Julie and Mike Becker, thank you for sending in your question. The question was, how long can we cellar our JRS wines? And that is, again, if you're buying 3 or 4 bottles, well, not very long. But this is it's a great question, and there's 2 main questions or question you have to ask yourself is how do you like aged wines? Most of us don't have the opportunity to drink a lot of aged wines. So, maybe an 8 or 10-year-old wine, which to me, maybe, wow, this is amazing. Maybe like, wow, I want something more fresh. So it really depends on your palate. And it also depends on the vintage. So what we just talked about, it's like this 2012 Rosellas, which I just poured myself another glass of. Hope you don't mind I take a little sip. And it's just amazing. I wouldn't have any hesitation letting this age another 5-6 years. The 2011, that vintage, it wasn't as strong. So it really depends on the vintage. The key thing is with aging wine, it's kind of like your children. If you don't want to wait till just the one day in their life and then spend that whole day with them. It's a journey. So you want to taste the wine when they're young and you see how the wines grow. You want to taste them as they mature a little bit. You want to skip the teenage years. If you've got kids, you know what I'm talking about. But when they get into their 20s, as our children are, then they really, really blossom. So it really depends on what you like. The key is try bottles. If you've got 6 bottles or 12 bottles, try a bottle a year. Try a bottle every 2 years and see what you like. Because you may say, hey, this is at the peak. We're going to finish the rest of our 6-pack or our case. So, speaking of children, some great news in our family. Our son Nick just got engaged to his longtime girlfriend Erin. So they are super, super happy, as are we. Everybody's asking, is there a date? And they said, yeah, after this whole pandemic thing, we'll give you a date. But until then, yeah, we're not putting any dates on the calendar. So. Some other questions that we've gotten is when is the tasting room in Los Gatos going to reopen? Right now, the Santa Clara County still has a shelter in place. There's no specific end on that. The current date is the end of April, but the end of May. But who knows how long that might go. We're planning for July 9th, which is Thursday. We have a lot that we want to do for the safety of you and the safety of our staff. And reconfiguring, we're shutting down the JRS terrace and lounge because there's not enough space for social distancing, but we're opening up the patio to be JRS only on the patio. So, and at least for the first month or 2, and maybe longer, depends on how you guys like it, we're going to be members only. So if you're not a member, you better know a member who can bring you as a guest at a future time. So. That's what we're looking at. Some other people are saying, well, didn't you announce in February you're going to open a new kitchen? You're going to build a kitchen and do some big construction? And yeah, we were planning to do that. But right now, this is a whole new world. Sales are way down. Our restaurant sales are 0. Obviously, the tasting room and wine bar and events sales are 0. So that is indefinitely postponed. This is we're enjoying. We're 60, 70 days into this now. It's National Chardonnay Day, National Chardonnay Week. We want to thank you for your support. This is a trying time, and I'd like to ask you to join me one glass at a time, getting through it. Thank you. To your health.